What it do, baby? It's your boy Baki back with another one. I don't know if you can see from the thumbnail. I try to make it a little creative. We're doing a new series here called Late to the Party. And basically the premise for this idea is I've been trying to go back and play games that are critically acclaimed and people talk about all the time and try to beat them. I haven't played a lot of critically acclaimed games that you would think, yo, why haven't you played that? Like, okay, for example, I've played Metroid, Super Metroid, most of the Metroids, but I never played the Metroid Prime series. I've done the original Zelda, I've done Zelda 2, Link to the Past, but I never did Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask, so on and so forth. So examples like that. A lot of the games that I've been playing across the last 10 years have been like either really obscure retro stuff, all of the From Software games, starting from like Kingsfield all the way to now we're on Dark Souls 2. So we've played like 50 From Software games. So like I've been kind of on a different path. All the Castlevania, I've beaten every Castlevania game ever made, including the arcade game, the pachinko machine. Like I've literally played them all. So I wanted to start this series, not even the series. I just wanted to play games that I missed out on as a kid that are always talked about and raved and loved. So today we're going to be starting with, as you can see, Metroid Prime. Now, for me, what I'm gonna do on this is still kind of treat it like a good, bad, ugly, and just go through my experiences with the game. I'm not really gonna go give you beat for beat or anything like that, but I'm just gonna tell you how overall I felt about the game. Metroid Prime is an absolute masterpiece. I say this with one caveat, and the one caveat is I am using mouse and keyboard. That's the only thing. I'm playing the Wii version, but using a mouse and keyboard control scheme that allows me to aim with the mouse. When you play like that with zero lock on, I'm only using lock on for like scans and stuff. You can still lock on, but only for scans, things like that. Wasn't really using lock on too much unless I wanted to dodge. When you play like that, that game becomes something that is truly, truly incredible. It becomes an almost different feeling game. See, when I played the game on GameCube back in the day when I was a kid, what really wowed me was the graphics and the effects, but I couldn't put a one-to-one translation from Super Metroid to Metroid Prime because Super Metroid has never really been a game that I really enjoy. Even to this day, like Super Metroid is just not that fun for me personally as much as Metroid Prime was. Metroid Prime, even though I'm sure it's a little bit simpler than Super Metroid once you get further and further. I've only played Super Metroid maybe like 4 or 5 hours in, but like slow though. I'm not very good at like Metroid games and stuff. And what I loved about Metroid Prime is right from the jump, the amount of detail that is going on in the game. It's just oozing with atmosphere. Even for a game that came out in what year did that come out? 2003, 2002, 2004, something like that. Dude, the way the rain hits your gun as it's holding out there, the way that when she shoots shots it reflects back and you just see her eyes just for a brief moment, you know what I'm saying? Like, these kind of things to me are so incredible about Metroid Prime. And then I love majority of the mechanics that the game started adding to you. The scanner, while I think is a little bit annoying, is amazing also though, because you literally learn the story through the scans. And it's very interesting to see how and why the Chozos and everything else that is there exists within this world that you're on. So you get this really, really like deep sense of lore that is there if you want to dive into it. And then my favorite part about the game, to be honest with you, is the map system. It is the best map system I've probably ever experienced in a video game. And I don't know why that map system is not the standard. Basically, when you go into a room, it then shows you every possibility of a way out of that room without spoiling it even, because you can still kind of see things that you can't see. So like it's a freaking amazing map, man. So that was like what I really, really appreciated about Metroid Prime was they went as far as to make sure, hey, this is a 3D world. We know it's going to be hard for our people who played like 2D Metroid and stuff. Since we're making the transition so rough, let's try to make the map as accessible as possible. Now, granted, there's like almost no other way to do the map because there's so much verticality in the game, right? There's that third dimension that exists that really doesn't exist in like 2D games, right? So with that verticality, there's certain maps where the scale is, 3 floors high in one room and like spins around or segmented. So this map allows you to go through and see all the little intricacies of like, everything, bro. It was so easy. Like 100% in this game would not have been a problem at all. They give you so many tools to figure things out on your own, and I love that about this game. I even enjoy after you, like, let's say you go explore somewhere for a while, it'll give you a message and tell you like where you should be, like if you're off the beaten path. But that's really cool because it doesn't force you to. You can still go explore and do things like that. I don't know if there's any sequence breaking or anything like that, but man, oh man, did I have a great time with Metroid Prime. As you can see above, like my face on this gameplay footage, I was just enjoying myself. Even in the water levels, I was enjoying myself. And then once it got to the space pirate area, that's when things got really, really cool and interesting to me, is when you got to do the whole area with the space pirates and the way that your suit looks when you're in the morph ball. I mean, oh my goodness, this game just oozes out atmosphere, bro. Like it was truly a amazing experience that I am glad I finally got to do. And this is why I'm doing this late to the party thing. I beat Ocarina of Time as well, so we can talk about that in another video. But it truly did open my eyes as to see, like, there were some true masterpieces out there back in the day. And for you guys to play them as kids, you guys were truly lucky. You know what I mean? To play them and complete them as kids and stuff. Truly lucky. I'm blessed I'm still alive and able to play them now. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we're doing. We've been trying to do anyway, here or there. You know what I'm saying? Right now, I'm actually in the middle of playing the Shin Megami Digital Devil Saga, because that's another game I've always wanted to play, but never really got too deep into it. So we're gonna actually try to finish that bad boy now. But yeah, I just wanted to talk a little bit about Metroid Prime, how much I appreciated the bosses. I appreciate the levels. If I had to give it any gripes at all, I can't think of one issue I did not like in this game. Even with the control scheme being a little skewed on mouse and keyboard, it still worked perfect. Because like to do scanners, you had to press like E, and then you had to press like 1, 2, 3, 4 for whatever scan you're trying to look for. And I like that though. Like you had to scan for different things for different reasons, right? You had to scan for enemies for different reasons. And even the final fight, I know I'm gonna put the final fight up here in a few moments, but even the final fight I thought was absolutely incredible. I thought it was such a fun, like, kind of play on how Super Metroid is, right? Where you get this super cannon, right? And it's like, it's kind of a fun play on that, but its own way. And that's exactly what I felt about Metroid Prime in general. It's like, it's a twist on the Metroid series in its own fun, unique way. And it goes off in pretty much the same tangent that all Metroids end up going off on, right? Like the same kind of things. But to me, the atmosphere and the amount of detail in the game is what really, really sells Metroid Prime. I'm actually very excited to try Metroid Prime 2. We tried a little bit of it, and I was already a little bit disappointed, I'm not gonna lie, just because I didn't like how the scan looks. The scan looks like you're playing Tony Hawk graffiti mode, you know what I'm saying? Where it's like green and you're like highlighting in a specific color. But besides that, I'm very excited to try Metroid Prime 2 and 3 now to get ready for 4. So yeah, man, that's gonna be it for me on the late to the party Metroid Prime. I'm stamping this bad boy with a 10 out of 10, bro. This game was absolutely incredible, an absolute treat. I had no gripes about it. Even the part where you had to go find the hidden artifacts is still very easy to do because the rooms tell you exactly where to go get them when you go scan them. So again, you have all of the tools available for you to complete this game without any struggles at all. And I think that is cool. All right, man. It's your boy Baki. Late to the party, Metroid Prime. I'll see y'all on the next one, baby. Peace. Oh, we just finished up Metroid Prime, baby. GG's. That was a beautiful game, man. I cannot stress how much I enjoyed this game. I cannot stress it, bro. I cannot stress how much I enjoyed that game. I've played other Metroid games, and I've gotten it because I'm a Castlevania guy, so I like Metroidvanias. But that game in 3D translation is one of the best experiences I've probably ever had in video games. From the music, to the gameplay, to the expansion on ideas, to the quality of life, to the map, to the immersion, to the fucking graphic, to the colors, to the fucking everything. Lost Game 2 is so near to my heart. I can see why. Now I get why. And I think it's actually a really, really, like, I don't know. It's just one of those games where they really worked hard to translate the 2D shit to 3D, you know? They figured out, well, how's the map gonna be a pain in the ass? They solved that. The map is exactly what every map should be that. Why aren't all 3D maps that? How did we have this map in 2003, 2004, whenever this shit came out, and now we get maps like fucking that goddamn Jedi game where the map, the layer, like, nigga, why can't you have that? Why can't we have that? We can have that. That shit had multiple layers. You could see the floors. You could go from that floor to the other. It was very simple to follow. You know? Everything about this game felt really, really cool. I didn't really have any gripes about it. I don't have any gripes about it. This is a 10 out of 10 game. Very rarely does that. It's a 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10, bro. 100%. 1000%. 10 out of 10. Let me put it in my notes. Another game down, baby. 10 out of fucking 10, man.